Today, I am going to promise you a good time. We have a youth intake to look forward to. Look at those A's. To kick everything off, we've got the FA Cup quarter-final where we are taking on Manchester United away from home. And then after that, the small matter of Brentford, who are down in 19th. We're at home for this game. It is about as must-win as they come. It's episode number 47 of Park to Prem. We are 2 points away from the relegation zone. Let's run the intro and get straight into things. Yes, folks, how is it going? And a warm welcome back. It's Thursday. I hope you had a good 2025 so far. Mine has been better. Now, of course, last episode we had transfer deadline day where there were no transfers. I don't know why I'm on the transfer screen right now. In that episode, we played 2 games. We failed to score in both of them. Since then, 7 games played, 1 win in the league. It's not good. So last episode, we lost against Brighton. We then lost against Tottenham, failed to score, and well, that trend continued. Birmingham away, a game that I viewed as winnable. Ajaria man of the match. It was not enough. I mean, to be fair to Ajaria, he has actually improved a hell of a lot this year. If there's one kind of crumb of comfort that I have for the year, it is the fact that over the course of this season, we have seen some monumental improvements in players. There are players here like Rashid Mohammed, who are good in the Championship. The Premier League was a big step up, and I'm kind of clinging on to that knowledge that if we were to get relegated, players like Rashid are so much better than they were last year, we should get promoted immediately. I hope. Gavin Wallace, another player who's improved a hell of a lot. Look at these green arrows. And even players who have been more on the fringes, like Oliver Johnson and his weird face. Look, even he is showing some pretty significant signs of improvement. Not that I'm planning for relegation, but there is a small part of me that feels like if we went down, it'd actually give me 1 more year to try and develop some of these kids so they're ready for a Premier League challenge. If we stay up in the Premier League this year, I feel like, well, I'm not going to be able to use the kids as much as I want to, and I'm going to have to add in some quality. And I suppose when you look at this run of games, the lack of quality really is on display. For a 4th game in a row in the league, we failed to score against Leeds, a 3-0 defeat, then a 1-0 defeat against Chelsea. Not a good result here. Jadon Sancho with the winner. Created a little in this game, did not score. 5 games in a row without scoring. I decided to switch up the mentality. We went on attacking against Everton at home. Ajaria was sent off. We got battered 4-0. What I will say is the stats kind of suggest this was not as one-sided as the scoreline looks, especially when you consider we were down a man for half the game. The good news is over in the FA Cup, we managed to win in the 5th round. Middlesbrough in League One, our opposition. You kind of expect us to win. Glad we did win, albeit Daniel Hoey scored 2 corners for us. So yeah, it wasn't even like that was a good performance, really. In our penultimate league game in this run of fixtures, we took on Crystal Palace. A nicely worked set piece from them saw Pedro Neto score. They then missed a penalty, and we followed that up with a Hoey goal. Yeah, he's been in some good form lately. 1-1, 90 minutes. I'm thinking we're going to get a point. It's going to happen. And then this happens. França brings the ball forward, and Anson is beaten at the near post. To be fair, Anson still did get a 7.3 rating in that game. He made a lot of saves until that 90th minute winner. And actually, when you look at his recent form, he has been better lately. Obviously, he had a really rough run of games. But actually, for a goalkeeper, to see the odd bar of green here indicates it's not really been his fault we've been struggling. To lose 2-1 against Crystal Palace was gutting. This was a game that going into it, I wasn't expecting a lot from. On the road against Newcastle, who were up challenging for the Champions League places, we opened up the goal scoring with Rashid Mohammed. It was Hutchinson with an assist. We'd then gone to get another one. The ball gifted to Flood. Rashid Mohammed gave it to Sheldon. The strikers linked up. That was a tasty finish. There was a little bit of panic as Isak scored in the last kind of 5-10 minutes of this game, but we held on for an all-important win. And let me tell you now, there was a big sigh of relief breathed out. We needed a win. Finally, we got one. Sadly, it didn't really move us at the Football League. And the reason for that is that everyone behind us has also been playing okay lately. We are down in 17th. In fact, we've dropped places since last episode. It is still crazily close. Leicester, you can see, are 5 points ahead of us. They're up in 13th. We, on the other hand, really should be looking over our shoulders. We've got Southampton, Norwich and Brentford breathing down our necks. To end the year, we have some massive games. Now, on the final day of the season, we're away at the Etihad. So if we want to stay up, probably don't want to be fighting for our life going into that game. But before that, we have Aston Villa in 15th, Leicester in 13th, Southampton in 18th, and of course, like I already mentioned, the Brentford game today I view as winnable. They're in 19th. The other games we have, West Ham in 12th, Liverpool in 3rd, Wolves in 9th. So yeah, a result today against Brentford is key, albeit there's bigger fish to fry before then. As up first, we are in the FA Cup, taking on Manchester United in the quarter-final. A trip to Wembley would await if we could win this game. And of course, just as a little reminder, last time we went to Old Trafford, we managed to win 2-1. Admittedly, it was a couple of months ago now, but let's leave this fresh in the memory. We know we can go to Old Trafford. We know we could win this. Will we win it? That's going to be a slightly different proposition. There are some league games going on, so I've got to keep half an eye on these. Southampton and Norwich are going to be playing behind us. If Southampton were to win, we will be in the drop zone going into the game against Brentford. Now, in terms of injury news, Caleb Anson's been out actually with a little injury. I feel like he hasn't missed a game yet, but he got injured in training, so he's not available for this one. Elsewhere, there has been some big misses lately. McConnell missed a couple of games with injury and having to rotate things around. Elsewhere in the team, one of the biggest misses, Bright, Ari and B. I think he's missed the last 6 or 7 games, the left-footed centre-back. We don't really have a great left-footed centre-back in our ranks. We have been alternating between JJ and Edmondson playing at left centre-back. More recently, I've been leaning on JJ, although when you look at his performances at centre-back, 6.62 rating there, maybe I shouldn't be leaning on him. To be fair, though, it's not as if Edmondson is much better. He has had not a great season. He's 32 years old now. He is showing signs of decline. I somewhat regret giving him a promotional contract extension if we went up, because I have got him contracted till he's 37. Which in retrospect feels like an error. Now, in terms of other injuries, one of the reasons I think we've struggled for goals is this man being injured. Marcus Sheldon has 11 goals for us. Let's be honest, he has been our main outlet of goal scoring. He pulled ankle ligaments at the start of February and actually missed a load of games. That was a bit of a problem. You can see through the gap here. He has just not been able to play. And elsewhere, Rashid Mohammed, whilst not as severe, has also had his own little injury issues. You can see here, he actually twisted his knee midway through February. There was a period of time this year where Rashid and Sheldon weren't available for us up top. The good news, they are back today. Anyway, we are going to submit the team and get into game number 1 today. In terms of, is the youth intake going to be after this game or after the second game? It just depends on when it comes. Old FM players will remember the days where youth intakes were set for certain days, which, let's be honest, it made it very easy to try and kind of poach other clubs' young players away when they generated in the game. On the flip side, as a creator, it was quite useful knowing the day for planning episodes and stuff where players were going to arrive. Whenever our A-star recruits arrive, we'll welcome them with open arms. But really, I shouldn't be thinking about that, should I? I need to worry about this here. We're at Old Trafford. Now, you will note that, of course, we did win against Newcastle and we took the game to Crystal Palace. I have continued playing an attacking mentality. I like to view mentality as almost the risk factor. It'll influence how players behave when we have the ball, how they get up the pitch. Of course, we have plenty of players starting in deeper positions, plenty of them with defensive duties as well, who will sit back, but certainly the likes of Hutchinson and Ajaria and Dolk with the attacking mentality will gamble a little more to get forward. Obviously, we were struggling for goals. We won our most recent league game playing on attacking. Maybe I'm a changed man. Maybe. I mean, saying all of that, we're playing attacking. You wouldn't know it based on what's happened so far in this game, of course. It's not like we're going to be pressing when we don't have the ball, but when we have the ball, there is going to be that impetus for us to try and commit men to the attack and try and carve out an opportunity. Anyway, Manchester United are going to be looking to do exactly that. I assume this is Jeremy Pino on the near side who's whipping it in. It goes past everyone to Bradley Barcola, who makes it 1-0. It was going so well. Of course, Barcola in real life tearing it up for PSG. I think it said there it was his 15th goal of the season for Manchester United. A player with some serious potential. Of course, Griffiths is in goal today because Anson's injured. He didn't get close to that one. Not that I'm going to blame him. If you were wondering, how good is Barcola? Good. Yeah, very good. Oh, and it is Jeremy Pino on the other side. These two players are on a combined almost £500,000 a week. They are earning more than my entire team combined, and it's not even close. 5 minutes left of this half. You wouldn't know that we're on attacking, would you? We have not had a shot on target or a shot at all in this game. We've had 43% of the ball. It's in at the break. It's the least classic game I think I've ever seen. By which I mean, it's just not been a classic, has it? The issue now, I suppose, with me playing on an attacking mentality is there is part of me that feels like in a game like this, it's like, what do I do? Do I go more attacking? Is it a case of going cautious, trying to invite them onto us that little bit more? I actually don't feel like that is the worst idea in the world. You know what? I'm going back to old ways. Look, we now have a shot going on attacking, so it can't exactly be worse. Granted, if we don't find something in the next 10 minutes, I'm probably going to the 4-2-2 to try and just throw men forward and hope something sticks. Manchester United have done nothing. We've done nothing either. It is one of the worst games of Football Manager I can remember seeing lately. Right, Gavin Wallace on. I'm going to take off Hoey and play Hutchinson at centre attacking mid. I feel like we do need to freshen things up in the final third. Joe Bellingham on Newcombe. Morgan on Newcombe as well. And in the midfield, I'm going to take off Flood. I'm going to bring in McConnell, I think, to play that regista role for us. I feel like I've not really discussed this, but McConnell as a regista and as a more deep line playmaker definitely can do a job here. 14 passing, 14 vision. I know he has no yellow, kind of super sexy 16s in the attribute columns. He's a very well-rounded player. In transition, we're going to counter-press. When we have the ball, distribute it over the top. Let's try and get the ball forward quickly. I think that's all we can really hope to do here. Okay, we have a corner. Hutchinson whipping it in. Rolk is under it. He can't win it. De Ligt leaps highest. And now Leroy Sané is bringing the ball forward for Manchester United. I'll tell you what, they have got some superstars in their team, Manchester United in this universe. McConnell, I thought had won the ball back, but instead he's pulled out the tackle. And now it's Kobe Mainu, who I think might be playing right wing back for them here, bizarrely, who gives it inside to Ugarte. Played wide, Scott, Xerxes, Truffert with the ball. I've never heard of Truffert in my life. I'm going to assume they're a regen, and they're French, and they're overpowered, and they're scary. And I'm sad. It's 2-0. Mason Mount scored against me. This game is so unrealistic. I mean, we've committed men to the attack. We're playing with the 4 at the back and then the 2 defensive mids. You can kind of see all of those players in the box, and, well, they are incapable of intercepting the pass or marking the men. It turns out Truffert is a real player. I have no idea how I've never heard of this individual. They're very good. I mean, they're better than my left wing back options. Life's not fair, is it? Okay, there's 15 minutes left in this game. If we want to have a comeback, it needs to happen now. Dolks won the ball nicely. Inside to Sheldon. It might not be over yet. Maybe this game's burst into life in the last 20. Dolk actually read this play really, really well. He's out like a greyhound to get to that ball. It's like he's seen the postman and he wants to get him. He finds the ball, gives it to Sheldon, and that is a great little finish by our number 9. 10 minutes left. I mean, I have to try and make something happen here. The tricky thing being, of course, we're already kind of doing as much as we can to make stuff happen. Sheldon scored that goal and he was great. Amari Hutchinson is struggling a little bit fitness-wise. I'm going to make a change here. I'm going to bring in Johnson. I'm going to play him as a target forward in the middle. He's got 15 jumping reach. He is absolutely massive. 2 pacey players either side of him. Hopefully him getting the flick-ons. This is my attempt to win. Or draw. I realise I think this game might go to extra time if it finishes 2-2. Of course, we have got to score to make that happen, but there is now a highlight. Wallace is bringing it forward here. There's players in the middle. He could go on his own lonesome the left back. He very nearly did. I want to be annoyed because he's missed the target. It was a good effort. It was a brave effort by the youngster, who's now over the corner and whipping it towards Rolk. He doesn't win his header and allow Leroy Sané. We had a highlight like this before where he was bringing the ball out. Ajari is on a booking. He got sent off earlier in my recent run of games. He's got sent off again. Tammy, you dingus. And I suppose this is a good time to reveal. You know, why not reveal it now? I have agreed to sign him on £30,000 a week from the end of the season on a new contract. If you're wondering why, it's because he's homegrown and I want him to be here forever and I feel like he can develop more. I am now questioning that decision to make him the second highest earner at the club. The man is a moron. I mean, here's the thing. There's not really anything I can do here. We're still chasing the game. McConnell go to right wing back. Dolk, play on your own in the middle. I need a goal. There's 2 minutes left. There's 7 minutes of added time. Could we? Maybe? Probably not. Why is nothing happening? Football Manager, you are cruel. It finishes here. 2-1. For some reason, there was a moment at the end there where I truly believed we were going to score. I'm proud of your efforts. To be fair, look, 2-1 defeat at Manchester United. Actually not that bad. What is bad news is the fact that Southampton managed to win against Brighton. Birmingham also won, who were around us. Fortunately, Norwich didn't win, but we are now in the relegation zone. We have a game in hand. It might be that game against Brentford, which, well, now feels suddenly really, really important. It's in 7 days. Just before I go forward, and I've banged the drum on about this a lot, I just want to show you the XG table and be more bitter. Our XG position is 9th. We're in 18th. It's a fix. Right, I'm going to rest up the players. I actually don't think this Brentford game is the game in hand that we have. That said, it's about as must-win as they get. I'll be back when there's a youth intake or this match comes. We'll see which arrives first. Having seen us just drop into the relegation zone, you know what? This fills me with a little bit of joy. Our youth intake could be quite good. We've got elite talents. Now, granted, I thought we were promised some defensive midfielders. Maybe they're further down this list. There is 3 elite talents. Let's talk about the first. Alex Louisu. Look at this guy. I'm definitely not saying his name correctly here. Look how good he is. He is a centre mid striker who has no concept of centre attacking mid. In terms of how he'll play for us, I'm not sure. I feel like he might be an attacking midfielder. I'll be honest, he fundamentally lacks physicals that I would particularly like in a player like him, but has got really good vision and passing, which could be good. A little bit concerned, however, injury proneness. Yeah, that really does take the shine off him. Sky Cleavely here looks good, really good natural kind of athleticism, which we like to see. Maybe lacking a little bit defensively, but super consistent is good. Obviously, if we compare him to Gavin Wallace, who was our most recent left-back star to come through our intake somewhere down in this list, yeah, it's safe to say Sky is a long way from the first team. For people looking for an AA update, by the way, he's on loan at Rotherham. He has not played a game for Aston Villa since they signed him for 10 million. And actually, when you compare Sky to him, he's not even that far away, if you just ignore defence. Which, you know what, that is kind of important for a left-back, isn't it? Anyway, third and finally, we have Neil Nightingale. This guy, a right midfielder / right mid. I don't play with right midfielders or right mids. I don't really know what to do with him, because when I look at him, he is definitely a winger and not a lot else. I mean, he's 16 years old. He is going to have room to develop and change. Think, to be honest, I might end up training him to play at wing-back. I say that. He's got such poor marking, tackling and positioning. He might just have to be trained at centre attacking mid. Apparently he could improve a lot. If you've got any ideas for what I should do with him, I don't know. Let me know, answers on a postcard. There are other players here like Adam that have a little bit of potential. Miles, here's a goalkeeper who's come through this intake with some decent mentals. But to be honest, I don't see any of these players getting near the first team. We were told we were going to get good defensive mids. Ian Brooks is one of those. I am firmly underwhelmed. I'm going to assume the other defensive mid that was being bigged up was Moody here, which is leaving me Moody, because he is not that good, is he? You know what? David here thinks this is going to be a golden generation for this club, and I'm going to just trust David. He has been our youth development head from the beginning of this save game. You can see his career is just down in the lower league of England, but in this universe, he is the most godlike head of youth development ever. I'm going to hope he's right. I'm not overly convinced. Probably going to be a while before any of these guys get near the first team. Okay, games this season aren't going to get any bigger than this. We are taking on Brentford. They are 3 points behind us. A win for them can't actually take them above us because our goal difference is pretty good. Despite the fact we've not been scoring many, we're actually not conceding many either. Of course, a win here could lift us up. Elsewhere, Leeds and Norwich both play, albeit away, against Liverpool and City. So whilst I'm not worrying about them winning, I am worrying about us winning. We need a result. Now, in a cruel twist of fate, Ajaria has got injured as well as being suspended. So even if I wanted to play him today, even if he hadn't been sent off, he wouldn't have been playing today. And in some more news, Daniel Hoey is out with a bad injury, a broken cheekbone, out for 3 to 4 weeks with that one. He is our aerial presence at centre-back. He is a big miss from set pieces. There is a little bit of a makeshift look to our team going into this one. Bright, Arian B, I've just got to rush back into the team, fit enough to play 45 minutes. Elsewhere, Edmondson going to be playing at centre-back. Mentioned the fact he's not really performed this year. I feel like I need someone who can be a weapon from set pieces. And in the absence of Hoey, he's the man we turn to. A right-back, McConnell, is going to come in and play right wing-back. This guy's been a bit of a revelation for us this year. Definitely been one of our standout players. Arguably, should be playing ahead of Ajaria more often. 8 games left of the season going into this one. This is, well, perhaps the most winnable of the lot. Oh, Football Manager, be kind. We're at home for this game. I'm going to keep on the attacking mentality and really try and take the game to them when we can. That said, I do want us to still have that core of players at the back. The 2 defensive mids, the 3 centre-backs. We want to try and absorb pressure, hit them on the break if we can. And while 15 minutes into this game, Brentford having a lot of chances and a lot of the ball. McConnell, however, is going to kick off a highlight here on the near side. The first of the game, Dolk to McConnell, flood at the edge of the box, wide. Lovely build-up play here. And, well, I think that's going to be checked for if it's in the penalty area. That is just not in the area, is it? I can see it. You can see it. VAR and Football Manager, please add a skip button in FM25. I don't need to watch that. I mean, part of me hopes that maybe we can score from the free kick. We're not going to, but we're going to go straight into another highlight here. Flood, Hutchinson in the wide area. Arian B back in the team. Gives it to Dolk, who shoots. Ramsdale was at full stretch to try and stop that. Half an hour played here. It's been an open game. Obviously, the two highlights we've seen have seen us going forward. But when we've not been having highlights, it has been Brentford on top. And Douglas Luiz's shot there has been headed off the line. Brentford, get it in the back of the net still. I thought we dealt with the pressure. And yet, Maksimovic finds the back of the net. Their media prediction going into this year was 11th. When you look through some of the players in their team, they have some serious quality, Brentford. It's kind of mad they've struggled as much as they have. Defensively, I mean, I thought maybe we'd got away with it when the initial chance was missed, but we didn't deal with it, and they found a goal. I'm now hoping that this kickoff highlight is us going up the other end and making something magical happen. Rashid Mohammed to Hutchinson. I mean, that's a ballsy run. This is a ballsy run too. It's into the middle. It's hit Sheldon on the shins, and we respond immediately. He did not have a clue what happened there. I felt like I was watching the Mighty Ducks movies, you know? That was like a flying V just charging forward with it. Hutchinson squared it. It was actually cleared, I think, by a Brentford player, and it's hit Sheldon on the kneecap. He did not have a Scooby-Doo what was going on there. It doesn't matter. He gets a goal, technically. I feel like that shouldn't be given to him. 5 minutes left of this half. A draw here, by the way, would carry us out the drop zone, although really, in a game like this, you look at it and think, we need to win it. This is a game that we should be winning. In terms of this game on balance, I mean, both teams have not been good here. I'm going to tell the players this isn't good enough. It's been unacceptable. A good initial response. We'll jump into this second half. In terms of instructions here, I'm going to ask us to counter-press a little bit more, and I'm also going to get rid of distribute to centre-backs. Feel like we need to maybe be a bit more direct when we get the ball, not be afraid to bypass kind of our defence in an attempt to get it up the pitch quicker. Equally, I would like to prevent Brentford having quite as much of the ball as they're having in this game. Just looking to press them when we lose the ball, especially when we're high up the pitch. Maybe a chance we can force an error there. Brentford, however, to kick off this half, are going to pick out Mbuemo, who whips it back post. Viper is there, and Nelson Viper scores. That is a situation where we miss Hoey. Viper is absolutely massive, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he's got good jumping reach, and he's a good little aerial threat. Of course, Edmondson into the team jumps. Mistimes it completely, gets nowhere near it. You can see Viper here, yeah, 16 jumping reach, 14 heading, a threat in the air, knew he was going to be a problem. He's absolutely superb, isn't he, when you look at his overall ability. Worth noting as well, the change to kind of counter-press hadn't kicked in when that goal went in, so can't even look at our little tweaks as the reason we've conceded there. If anything, I didn't tweak things soon enough. As McConnell's corner, or cross rather, nearly creeped in. 2-1 down here, back in the relegation zone, an hour played. We've got to mix things up, haven't we? We've got to go on the attack here. I'm going to change things up. Segundo Volante on attack. Joe Bellingham coming on for his kind of, for his physicality, getting up the pitch. He's very, very good attacking-wise. To be fair, he's not the quickest player in the world, but he's the best player I've got right now. Amari Hutchinson's been poor. Gavin Wallace on you come. Rashid Mohammed was involved in our goal, but besides that, not done a lot. Going to bring in Morgan as well. Have 2 more changes if I want to make them. Rolk is in danger of losing his discipline. Annoyingly, he has been our best centre-back this match, so I can't really take him off. Okay, 3 changes made for now. This game has been very, very 50-50. You can see we're actually just edging out possession. We've not really created enough in this game, though. And we're now reaching a critical point where we have just got to go that little bit more direct. Out of possession, I'm going to encourage the players to get stuck in. I think in terms of kind of formation and position-wise, I'm going to change Bellingham and Flood to centre mids rather than defensive mids. And I am going to give them that kind of freedom, I suppose, to get up the pitch a little bit more. We need a goal. Ramsey's been poor in this one. I just don't have the options here, do I, to mix things up sufficiently is the issue. Ollie Johnson I'm going to bring in at centre mid. Bellingham's going to move forward. Ramsey's been poor. And Wallace has done something here. Please tell me he's not about to get sent off and I've missed it. What's happening here? He's got a yellow card. I don't know what's happened while I've been making changes. We won't question it. We're running out of time here. 10 minutes remain to try and get something from this game. Ezio Torre, come on down. We're going to go to 3 strikers, and it's a bit of a Hail Mary play at this point, isn't it? It's the classic 4-2-4? I don't even know what to call this formation. It's a bloody mess. It's a case of throwing everyone forward. Nothing is happening. We have got a corner here. McConnell's going to whip it in back post. It goes over everyone. Obviously, we have now overcommitted to the attack. Maksimovic, who scored for them, is going to bring it forward. Joe Bellingham actually wins that really, really nicely. Now can we create something? Flood bringing it forward. Oh my word. He's just been murdered off the ball. It's a red card for Brentford in this game. Flood's on the floor injured. I hope he's fine. There's 6 minutes of added time. There's 4.5 minutes of added time. What more can I do? I mean, they are down a man at this point, aren't they? McConnell, winger on attack. Wallace, winger on attack. I need a goal so badly. With 4.5 minutes left, I feel like I'm making all these changes and nothing's going to happen. But if something does happen, it will be the greatest thing we've ever seen. We need a goal. A goal would pull us out of the relegation zone. Brentford, down a man. Maybe a little bit fortunate to be a goal up in this game, Brentford. It's been very, very even. Naturally, now with us playing with two centre-backs, we are going to be leaving ourselves open, but we've just got to try and make something happen here. Fresnesta, for them, brings it forward and gives it to Mbuemo. Aya, inside to Yanal. Nice tackle by Morgan, but straight back to Mbuemo. He tries to cross it in, not once, but twice. Viper scores, and, well, we rolled the dice. We had to go all-out attack. We went all-out attack. They've grabbed another. If I'm not mistaken, this is one of the first times we've been in the relegation zone going into this game. I was hoping we'd claw it out, and now suddenly we're 3-1 down and in this unfamiliar territory of staring the drop square in the face. And whilst on the one hand, going more attacking, it's seen us maybe score a few more goals than we had been. There's no denying it's leaving us open at the back. That game hurt. Viper twice getting on the end of crosses where I look at it and think, if Hoey's fit, if I have my main centre-back, maybe we're okay. Brentford are now even on points with us. Leeds actually managed to get a draw against Man City. Norwich nearly got a win, to be fair to them. I mean, I'm looking at things, trying to find the positive. Villa and Southampton are only just above us. We still have to play them. I do feel like, though, if I'm being honest, I need to go back to the cautious mentality. I know we were struggling for goals on occasion, but we were a lot kind of more likely to scrape a narrow win than get blown out as we have on occasion where we have played this more attacking style. Oh, I don't even know anymore. It's tough, isn't it? I feel like perspective's a wonderful thing. Our kind of odds here for the season preview, we're still bottom at 2,000 to 1. We just don't have the quality of teams around us, sadly. So we're out the FA Cup. We're in the relegation zone, and there's not all that many league games left. 7 matches remain. Next time out, we're back for Southampton, Leicester, and Villa. They are all teams in the bottom half. Of course, if it comes to it, I have also got Manchester United City on the final day. I don't want to be playing them on the final day, needing to win to get anything. Tomorrow's going to be a big one to end the week, I think. I appreciate your love on the series as always. It is really nice seeing all the positive comments. People enjoying the challenge of this year. As much as it's a little bit frustrating being up against the odds, I'm relishing the challenge. Hopefully, we're still going to be fighting to the bitter end tomorrow. Maybe there's to be a happy ending. Or maybe by the end of tomorrow, I'm bracing myself for a season of championship football. Maybe even more. I hope that's not the case. Of course, if you have enjoyed things, as always, go down below, leave a like. We're back with a bang tomorrow to end the week. I'll see you guys next time. It's me, Jack. I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm out.